Everybody, just to let you know that the live stream comes on 5 minutes before, which is about now, so you can still talk quietly while we wait, but people will be able to hear everything you say.
And we will ask the egg shakers to stay there, okay? Thank you, guys.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And welcome to our K1 Shabbat family service this evening. Let me tell you something. You all look good on Zoom, but you look better in person. It really is good to see everybody in person as we slowly bring the family services and all of our services back to normal as well. So we're delighted to welcome the K1 students and their family and their friends. They will be leading us in a variety of songs and a presentation in our service this evening. One of the songs of Welcome to Shabbat is a very simple song called Shabbat Shalom, Bim Bam, Shabbat Shalom. Those are the 4 words. And so we're going to open our service with the K1 coming forward to lead us in Bim Bam, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for leading us in a beautiful introduction to an opening. You can be seated because now I'm going to call forward Kerry and Jason Klein and Sam and Nora, the Klein family, to come together for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. There's a blue prayer book in your seats, and we are on page 2. Actually, we'll start with the English reading on page 3. Okay. Yeah, you can read.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who follows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you very much to the Klein family, and I want to thank Kerry and the entire Religious Education Committee for all the work they do in helping our school. Our call to worship is the Baruch Hu on page 28. Now the K1 is going to come forward and sing an English introduction, and then when we get to the Hebrew, that's when we'll stand up and we'll face the ark. This is a very lively and spirited introduction to the Baruch Hu on page 28. please be seated, except for the K1. They're going to stay up here because they're going to lead us now in our affirmation of faith, the Shema, which we can find on page 34. And just like we do on Sunday mornings, we're going to sing this, and we're also going to sign the Shema. And you'll see the hand motions that indicate Shema, listen, and then Israel, the people of Israel, you'll see a hand motion of unwrapping the Torah. And then you'll see Adonai Eloheinu, our God, Adonai Echad, one God. So you'll be able to visualize and see the Shema and hear the Shema at the same time. The song that follows, the chant, V'ahavta, is on page 36. We chant this according to the biblical cantillation. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We are exactly 1 week, precisely 1 week before the next Shabbat, but it's also the holiday of Pesach, of Passover. And you'll hear a little bit more about our Festival of Freedom from the K1 and me later in the service. But recognize that we celebrate our freedom not once a year at Pesach, when we note the Exodus, but actually in every service. Because the next prayer, Michamocha, on page 40, is the prayer that Moses and Miriam, the prayer of thanks that they offered when they went from slavery to freedom. So K1 is going to sing a lively version of Michamocha, also adding some English words, celebrating the miracle of freedom. Come on up, K1. You can feel the miracle as you sing it. Beautiful. Thank you so much. We continue with a song that celebrates the Shabbat, which is also another popular song, V'shamru, on page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל
את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
For the Tefillah prayer, the Amidah prayer on page 46, that links our faith to the faith of our ancestors, we ask you to please rise. And I'd like to ask Nora, the older Nora, who's about to celebrate her bat mitzvah pretty soon, to come up and help lead us. Page 46.
Adonai tzedakah tiftach u'v'yadi tehilatecha.
Adonai sefatah tiftach u'v'yadi tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Lea, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה מפני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב ומושיע, משיק הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחייל חיים בחסד, מחייל הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נוכלים והופך עולים, ומחזיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עבר, מי כמוך על גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייל, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה וחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחייל הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללו בסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Let's read the prayer together in English on the top of page 55. Together, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. This section of prayer ends with a song of peace. We're singing the morning version because we like to do this on Sundays, and it has an echo as well called Sim Shalom.
Ready, guys? I need you to help me here, okay? Sim, 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 shalom. Sim, sim,
Sim Shalom.
sim, sim,
Sim Shalom Tova Uveracha.
sim, sim,
Sim Shalom.
sim,
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 sim, sim Shalom.
sim,
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 sim
shalom tova uveracha. Na 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 na
At the end of the Amidah, we take a moment to think about all those of our loved ones in need of healing, be this a healing of body or a healing of soul. And we're thinking not only about people we know in need of healing, but so many people in so many different parts of the world who need healing as well. We join together in the healing prayer, Misha Berach.
Bless the one
Now, as I mentioned, we're 1 week before the holiday of Pesach, of Passover. And we celebrate our freedom and we celebrate the great story of Moses. But when you stop and think about it, it takes a family. Moses could not have done what he did without his family. We hardly hear anything about his mother, but we know that her name was Yocheved. And after all, Moses wouldn't be there if it wasn't for his mother. And it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for his father, Amram. They don't have any part in the book of Exodus other than being the brave mother and the brave father that gave birth during a time of crisis when Pharaoh had decreed no more sons, and they hid that son. But we do hear about Moses' brother and sister. Moses' brother's name was Aaron, and he plays an important role when Moses grows up. But Moses was a public official who was reluctant to speak in public, and probably, according to the Hebrew, kaved peh, heavy tongue, had a speech impediment. That's hard for anybody, especially somebody confronting the head of Egypt. So Aaron helped his brother speak and talk. But Moses also had a sister named Miriam, and she saves him when he's put in a basket in the Nile River, and she helps save him along with another hero who becomes Moses' adopted mother named Bat Pharaoh, the daughter of Pharaoh. Amazingly, she adopts Moses. Finally, I want to mention that Moses couldn't have been everything that he was without the woman that he marries, named Zipporah, who saves his life at one point. And he never could have been as wise a ruler of the people once they journeyed into the Sinai for 40 years without, believe it or not, his father-in-law, Zipporah's father named Jethro. He plays an important role. So, you probably weren't counting, but if you counted, I just named 7 members of Moses' family who helped Moses become who he was. Yocheved, mother. Amram, father. Miriam, sister. Aaron, brother. Zipporah, wife. Jethro, father-in-law. And Bat Pharaoh, adopted mother. That's 7 key members of the family. As we say, it takes a village, but it also takes a family as well. So now I'm going to invite the K1 to share a little bit more about this holiday of Passover coming up.
They were slaves in Egypt. We learned about the 10 plagues. These plagues happened because the Pharaoh would not let the Jews go. They were slaves in Egypt. The Nile River turned to blood. Number 1. The Nile River turned to blood. Number 2, frogs were everywhere. Number 3, all the dust became lice.
4, flies filled the land and houses. 5, all the livestock died. 6, there were people covered in boils. 7. A hailstone rained down on Egypt. 8. Locusts ate all the trees and plants. 9. Darkness covered the land for 3 days.
Show everybody.
All firstborn sons died.
Show the picture.
My favorite symbol for Passover is matzah. I like matzah because we eat it and hide off a Karlin.
I like the egg. The egg represents new beginnings.
Show the picture.
The Haggadah, the 4 Christians. Why is this night different from all other nights? Why do we only eat matzah and not bread? 1. I forgot the one in the beginning. 2. Why do we eat bitter herbs tonight? 3. Why do we dip parsley into salt water and bitter herbs into haroset? 4. Why do we eat leaning on pillows tonight?
Baby Moses in the basket.
These are the center place of the bed, right? Are you guys ready to sing with me? Ilu Ilu, Naida Eno? I can see all 4 of you. Where are you? Okay, and Ilu Ilu, Hotsianu, Hotsianu, Mitzrayim, Hotsianu, Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu,
Thank you so much. As we open the ark for the Aleinu prayer, I realize that for some people who haven't been here in person for a service, you'll see in the center beautiful Torah cover that's new. It was made for our 150th anniversary year, which is currently ongoing. So please make sure to notice that. The bottom of page 282 for the Aleinu, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לדורות הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגבר עלינו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים מושב יקרו בשמיים ימעל, ושכינתו זו, וגודל מרומים, ואלוהינו אחד, אמת מלכנו, אפס זולתו, הכתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As we remain standing, our thoughts now turn to those of our loved ones no longer with us. On this Shabbat, we call to mind in love and reverence the Yortzeit, the anniversary of Louis Kelbick, father of Hillary Kelbick, Leon Kramer, brother of Miriam Wohl, Max Boimel, father of Fanny Fishbein, Janet Cohen, mother of Fred Cohen, Jacob Kind, father of Rebecca Kind Slater. For all those close to our hearts, for all those for whom there may be no one to say Kaddish, we join in the Kaddish prayer on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi, Be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, B'hayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarak ve'yishtabak ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitroman ve'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudisha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. A special thanks on this family Shabbat to Karlin, our teacher, a veteran teacher of our youngest children. It's always a pleasure to work with Karlin from year to year. And I want to thank Shira, our religious school director, who has worked with the education committee to keep our school going through thick and thin over these last 2 years. And of course, the Cantor, who just adds spirit at every time when we need a little more light and a little more spirit, she is there to elevate our souls as well. And of course, to the K1, our youngest class, for lifting our spirits this evening as well. We have one more family service coming up in May, and that will be our oldest students, our confirmation class of 8th, 9th, and 10th graders, which will close out our school year. But more immediately, I wanted to add that tomorrow morning We have Shabbat morning Torah study, which has been taking place via Zoom. We've been studying the rise and fall of ancient Israel all year long, and this Shabbat morning, tomorrow morning, we're going to read about two of the great kings of Israel, Hezekiah and Josiah, really second only to David and Solomon in stature. Sunday, we do have religious school. Matter of fact, we have a top Pesach program happening at 9:30, our religious school service at 9, and our morning celebration of religious school. Next Friday, next Shabbat, is the only Shabbat of the entire year when we don't have a service if that Shabbat coincides with the first night of Passover, because everybody is at a Seder. And so that is the case this year. And so there is no Shabbat service next week, and Torah study and religious school are on the spring holiday, multiple holiday break, because this year Pesach and Easter and Ramadan all coincide. The big three all coming together, which is actually a pretty rare event. Not Pesach and Easter coinciding, but Ramadan varies according to the lunar calendar and circulates during the year, but they're all in the same week for this year. Any other announcements that congregants would like to make? Lauren?
Poetry on Sunday, right, George?
Our poetry garden, will that be in the garden?
Whoa, I don't know.
Because we just,
Do you know? We'll do it on Zoom?
It'll probably be Zoom.
oh, okay, just to let you know, the daffodils are blooming and the pond has been cleaned and so forth, so the garden awaits anybody as the spring comes.
Passover Zoom, same thing.
Of course, thank you. We're not having a congregational Seder this year. However, we are having a holiday celebration for the second night of Passover. The Cantor and I are just going to do some readings and songs on Zoom on the second night at 7:30. So we invite you to join in. Anybody who would like to enhance their celebration or couldn't get to a first night Seder who would like to join us, we'll be there and we'll celebrate the holiday. So thank you for mentioning that as well. We're going to conclude our service with a classic song of peace. And after another horrific week in Ukraine, so many people desperately in need of peace. As we've been doing, we're going to dedicate this song to the people of Ukraine. You're familiar with this song, Oseh Shalom. May the one who makes peace above bring peace to us. And for our closing song, one more time, I'd like to ask K1 to come forward to lead us. Annette?
Just because you brought up Ukraine, an email.
Just speak up a little.
I'll try. An email went out to our members early this morning. There's an organization here in Fort Lee. It's called Barra Nova 27, and they are collecting items. They have a website, and from it you can order straight from Amazon, or you can go to their GoFundMe page to help with shipping. This is our second project that we're doing for Ukraine because we just feel like it's never ending and we don't want to feel that helpless anymore. So if you're not a member of the temple or you didn't receive the email, it's Barra Nova 27. They've got a website, they're on Facebook, and please help if you can.
Thank you. This is a very local interfaith effort here in New Jersey to help the people of Ukraine. Members of the synagogue, check your email that went out this morning about it. Oseh Shalom.